Well, what an opener to the tournament. Germany hit 5 versus Scotland. Scotland just couldn't quite get going. In this video, we're going to be looking through all the numbers and the big talking points of Germany versus Scotland. We're going to be doing daily reviews of the 3 games which happen up until obviously the knockout rounds, and then we'll do daily on the videos there. So do make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for all these previews and reviews that are coming up on the channel. There'll also be a ton of Derby County content coming over the next few days as well. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Shall we now get in to looking over this Germany versus Scotland game? So, spoiler alert, Scotland did not turn up. Never turned up in this game, in my opinion. I don't really know what Scotland were trying to do, but it did not pay off. Germany, by far and away, the much better side. 2-0 up within 20 minutes. And then, obviously, they just kept hold of the ball. Were able to really dominate Scotland in pretty much every area of the pitch. Florian Wirtz, really good goal early on. Jamal Musiala, a brilliant goal as well. I think it wasn't Musiala. Someone won a penalty just before half-time, which resulted in a red card for Porteous of Scotland, which Havertz tucked away. Fulkrug could have probably had 2 or 3 after his cameo appearance off the bench. I thought he played really, really well. And then Emre Can, who was not even part of the Scotland squad, I think it was 48 hours ago, popped up with a late 5th goal. There was no goal from Antonio Rudiger after a set piece. But realistically, Scotland were never in the game. They tried to play sort of a 3-4-1, a 5-4-1 system, and it just didn't seem to work, in my opinion. And they always seem to be not enough men in the right positions. And for me, Scotland really showed why they haven't been to many tournaments over recent years. And for me, I do think Scotland have a fairly decent lineup, but they just did not show it today. Now, Germany are probably the best side in their group. And let's just take a look at the 2 lineups then. As you can see, like, you've got the likes of Joshua Kimmich, Rudiger, Toni Kroos, Gundogan, Havertz, Musiala, Florian Wirtz. And this Scotland side just doesn't have players of that ilk, of that even nature. Their probably best player is probably Andy Robertson. And for me, not that Andy Robertson isn't a good player, but he certainly is not on the level of any of those. You've got fucking Kieran Tierney playing at left centre half. Scott McTominay's there in midfield with John McGinn. I just felt like Scotland never really got going in this game, and I'm not sure what they really intended to do. Now, Germany started really well, and picking up that goal after just 10 minutes was like exactly what you needed, especially as a home nation. Pick up that early goal. Don't let the crowd get too excited, too pressurised, if that makes sense. And I do think Germany were by far and away the better side. I don't think anybody can dispute that. I think Kai Havertz was really good until he came off. Musiala and Florian Wirtz, what amazing players they are. I'm still not entirely pleased by Musiala's decision to go and play for Germany. Obviously, he played for England at youth level. So you then obviously got Toni Kroos, who is in his last few games of professional football, obviously retiring at the end of this tournament. And what an excellent performance he put in. I think it was something like 101 completed passes out of 102 attempted passes. And what a brilliant, brilliant performance by this German side. Kicked off tonight at 8 o'clock. And if we do now take a look at, obviously, the group table, you can see, obviously, Germany by far and away at the top. Obviously, Hungary and Switzerland do play tomorrow. Goal difference of 4, but I do believe in the Euros, I believe it goes on head-to-head scores. So if Scotland and Germany are level, Germany would go through. If Scotland and Switzerland are level, whoever wins that game would go through. I think only if it's a draw does it go to goal difference, then goal scored, conceded, blah, blah, blah. So, obviously, Germany, 1 win from their first game, 4 goal difference. They face Hungary next. But if we do take a look at the statistics from this one, it's not really shocking that Germany came out victors in this game, and 73% possession to 27% possession. I think it just speaks volumes of the game. 2.17 expected goals to 0.01 expected goals. One shot for Scotland, 20 for Germany, 10 on target, 2 big chances. Obviously picking up 5 goals from Germany. Obviously 642 passes at 94% accuracy. Now, it was never going to be an easy game for Scotland. It was never going to be. And this isn't the game that they need to win. If they'd have got a result out of this, I'd have given them probably favourites to get out of the group. But if you do look at Germany's numbers in terms of shots, 10 shots on target, 5 blocked, 10 in the box, 10 outside the box, to nothing for Scotland, really. One shot on target, one shot off target inside the box. You then look at the expected goals. They created 1.38 non-penalty XG, 1.12 open play XG. Like, for me, I just feel like Germany were by far and away the better team. There's not really much more arguments you can have with this team. It's just one of those things, and Scotland couldn't really do much else. I think everyone anticipated a Germany win, and if you do look on the right-hand side at the who will win section, you can obviously see Germany picking up 82% of 133,000 votes to take the victory. Now, if we do go and look at like duels and things like that, you can obviously see that Scotland were better when it comes to clearances, when it comes to blocks, when it comes to interceptions, keeper saves, total duels won, ground duels won. But ultimately, that's what happens when the opposition has 73% of the ball. Obviously, the big talking point really was that red card from Porteous, I think his name is, yeah, Porteous. And don't get me wrong, like, it's one of those tackles that he didn't need to make, in my opinion. Like, I think they were already 2 goals down. He was never winning the ball. And he just takes the player out, 2-footed. And obviously, playing at Watford, 25 years old, you'd probably hope that he's got a bit more brain about him, maybe. But for me, I just think they definitely weren't at it today, Scotland. Definitely weren't at the races. You look at Kai Havertz taking away man of the match with a goal and an assist. 2 shots, 1 goal coming from the penalty spot. You obviously look, he created 1 chance as well. I think Kai Havertz had a brilliant game. Personally, my man of the match would have gone to Silky Ilky in midfield. I thought he had an excellent performance. 33 years of age. I did not realise he was 33. Coming to the back end of his career now as well. Now, shall we take a look towards tomorrow's fixtures? Obviously, you've got Hungary versus Switzerland, you've got Spain versus Croatia, and you've got Italy versus Albania. So, Hungary are the final game of Group A. They play at 2 o'clock versus Switzerland. It's going to be really interesting to see how this one sets out. Obviously, these are the 2 predicted lineups by FootMob. Obviously, you've got some big players in both sides, the likes of Szoboszlai, the likes of Xherdan Shaqiri, Granit Xhaka, Manuel Akanji, Fabian Shaw. Like, there's some really big players in these sides, so it is going to be really interesting to see how they do get on. So then we take a look into Spain versus Croatia. First game of Group B. This one is going to be massive in the concept of this group. If we do look at the group, I have previewed it all on the channel if you do want to go and check that out. But obviously, you've got Spain, Italy, Croatia, probably the 3 who will get out of the group. But can Albania spark a surprise? That's going to be a real question. You obviously look at the sides, and I do think this is a bit of a group of death. If we do then take a look at the predicted lineups for these 2 sides, obviously you've got the likes of Pedri, Jamal Musiala, you've got Williams, Rodri, Carvajal for Spain. Like, they have some really good players. You look over the other side of the pitch at the likes of Kovacic, Modric, Brozovic, and Guardiola. Like, they've got some really good players, both of these sides. It's going to be really interesting to see how both sides do line up in the end. Obviously, Grimaldo, part of that impressive feat for Bayer Leverkusen this season just gone. It's going to be really interesting to see how these teams do set up, how they do line up. Obviously, Guardiola, centre half, left back, where's he going to play for his nation? We then go and look at the final game of tomorrow, which is Italy versus Albania. Now, I think Italy must win this game. I think for everybody in Group B, I think you have to win against Albania. Now, if Albania take points off an Italy or a Spain or a Croatia, I think it straight away takes them away from being able to get out of the group in first or second. I think you have to beat Albania to get out of this group. If we do look at the predicted lineups, obviously, like, don't get me wrong, Albania have some good players with Armando Broja. I'm pretty sure the right back's fairly decent as well. They've got some fairly good players coming through in their nation, but obviously it's quite a small nation in comparison to the likes of Italy, Spain and Croatia. Not quite got them worldwide superstars yet, but then you look at this Italian side, you've got the likes of Donnarumma, Di Lorenzo, Chiesa, Scamacca, Jorginho. Like, there's so many players in that Germany side, and there's so many that haven't even been mentioned who are absolutely brilliant. So it is going to be really interesting to see how that does go down. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Who do you think is going to win in the 3 games that I've just previewed? Let me know your thoughts on Scotland versus Germany. And shall we now close out this video? So there we have it then. There's the Scotland versus Germany review and a look towards tomorrow's fixtures. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Turn on the notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Euro 2024 content. It's going to be daily reviews of the fixtures, so make sure you do stick around for that, and I'll catch you in my next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.